Hello, hello. Welcome back to the American Chapter podcast. We are so incredibly happy to have you back in our circle today for episode 11. Can you believe it? 11 episodes already.
It's moving fast. Welcome back, everyone. Take a deep breath, settle in. Maya, how are you really feeling today? You look like you're in boss mode today.
I actually am. I'm feeling empowered. I spent my morning organizing my life, and honestly, it feels great. How about you, Jacob?
I'm feeling centered, but I'll be honest, I had a bit of a stressful morning looking at some bills. But checking my budget actually calmed me down. And that is exactly what we're diving into today.
Exactly. For all our B1 and B2 learners and our advanced friends, today is a huge one. We're using a mix of intermediate and advanced vocabulary, financial idioms, slang, and some beautiful phrases about freedom. If you hear a word you don't know, don't sweat it. Seriously. Just let the conversation wash over you. We have a dedicated review section at the end for your active notebook.
This isn't a boring math class. This is life, just in English. Listen while you're stuck in traffic, cooking, or even just lounging on the sofa. Today's episode is a total game changer. We're talking about financial education, how to spend, how to save, and how to stop being a slave to your bank account.
But before we get into the money talk, do us a huge favor. If you love growing with us, subscribe, hit that like button, and share this with a friend who is also on their English journey. And stick around. We want to hear your money tips in the comments later.
Our roadmap: Part 1 is the deep talk with our personal stories. Part 2 is the vocabulary vault. And we'll finish with a shadowing practice session to lock in your fluency. Let's get it.
So, Jacob, let's start with the big question. What does financial literacy even mean? It sounds so academic.
You're right, it sounds like a textbook. But simply put, to be financially educated means you understand how money works. It's the ability to manage your income in a smart way so you aren't always stressed. It means you know how to distribute your money between needs, wants, and the future.
Wow, that definition makes it sound so simple, but the reality is a bit different, isn't it? I was reading some statistics about people here in the States, and it's a bit of a wake-up call.
Oh, absolutely. You'd think that in the land of opportunity, everyone would be a pro at managing money. But, the data is actually quite shocking. Did you know that nearly 60% of U.S. adults are currently living paycheck to paycheck? That's more than half the country.
60%? That's incredible. And I saw a study saying that about 40% of Americans couldn't even cover a sudden $400 emergency with cash. They'd have to borrow it or sell something. It just shows that so many people are walking on thin ice financially.
It's true. And when it comes to the future, the gap is even bigger. Only about 58% of Americans own any stocks or have investments. That means nearly half the population is missing out on building that long-term wealth we always talk about. It's like everyone is running a race, but half of us are wearing heavy boots.
But Jacob, why is that? Why do so many people struggle with this in a place like America? Is it because we aren't taught this in school?
You hit the nail on the head. It's called the financial literacy gap. Believe it or not, only about 25 to 30 states in the U.S. actually require high school students to take a personal finance class to graduate. In most places, you learn how to calculate the area of a triangle, but you have no idea how to file your taxes or how credit card interest works.
That is just wild to me. We spend years in school, but the most important skill for survival, managing your resources, is just left out. No wonder people feel like they're drowning when they get their first real paycheck. They've never been given a map.
Exactly. It's like being thrown into the deep end of the ocean without a life vest. But that's why I love that we're doing this episode. We're giving our listeners that life vest today.
I love that. So let's stop the drowning and start building a boat. Smile and voice. And guys, listen, this isn't just for rich people or professionals. Whether you're a student with a small allowance, a beginner at your first job, or an employee, this system is for you. If you have even $1, you can decide where that dollar goes.
Exactly. It's about awareness. Maya, you weren't always a budgeting queen, right?
Oh, definitely not. I was an emotional spender. If I had a bad day at work, I'd buy a new dress to feel better. If I was happy, I'd buy a fancy dinner. I was living paycheck to paycheck. The turning point for me was when my car broke down, and I realized I had zero savings. I felt so vulnerable. That's when I discovered the 50-30-20 rule.
That rule is a classic. For those who don't know, it's a simple structure. 50% of your income goes to needs, rent, food, bills. 30% goes to wants, travel, hobbies, that expensive coffee, and 20%, that's the magic number. That goes to savings or deposit account.
And a deposit account is just a bank account where you put money to save it, and the bank pays you a little interest for keeping it there. It's your safety net. What about you, Jacob? You're the investor of the group.
Well, I learned the hard way too. I wanted a car, but I didn't want a huge debt, so I started investing. I spend about 45% on my basic needs, 15% on travel because I love to see the world, and I keep 5% in a liquid deposit. Liquid just means I can grab that cash immediately if there's an emergency. The rest, I invest in assets.
Wait, let's explain that. I remember reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's a bestseller about money. And the author says the big secret is knowing the difference between an asset and a liability.
Spot on. An asset puts money into your pocket like an investment or a small business. A liability takes money out of your pocket like a fancy car that loses value every day or a credit card balance.
So the goal is to build passive income. That's the dream, right? Money that comes in while you're sleeping because your assets are working for you.
Yes, but it starts small. My advice for everyone, especially students or beginners, is to just start tracking. See where your money is leaking. You'd be surprised how much we spend on nonsense.
And don't compare your Chapter 1 to someone else's Chapter 20. If you can only save 5% right now, save 5%. It's about the mindset shift. It's about saying, I control my money, it doesn't control me.
Wow, Maya, that really hits home. Deep breath. If we could summarize everything we've talked about today into one sentence, it's this. Stop being a passive observer of your bank account and start being the CEO of your life. You are the boss here.
Exactly. And for everyone listening, no matter if you are 18, 35, or 60, please hear this. It is never too late. Do not think that because you didn't start 10 years ago, you shouldn't start today. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now.
Nods with conviction. So, what's the start now checklist? First, educate yourself. Read the books we mentioned, listen to more podcasts, and take advice from people who are where you want to be. Second, and this is the big one, track your spending. You can't fix what you don't measure. Use an app, a notebook, or a spreadsheet. Just know where your money is going.
And once you track it, plan it. Give every dollar a job before the month starts. And please, leave the unnecessary stuff on the shelf. We live in a world that is designed to make us want things we don't need. If it doesn't add real value to your life, leave it on the shelf.
And finally, start to invest, even if it's a tiny amount. This is the golden hook, guys. If you start to invest now and stay consistent, in 10 years, you might reach a point where you don't have to work. You'll work because you want to, not because you're forced to. That is what we call financial independence.
Softly, with a smile, imagine that. A version of you 10 years from now, looking back and thanking the you that is listening to this podcast right now. It all starts with that one quiet, internal yes to your future. And no, it's time to get those pens moving. Open your active notebooks and let's break down the gems we used today.
1. Financially educated, or literate, meaning understanding how to manage money, budgeting, and investing. Example, becoming financially literate is the first step towards freedom.
2. Paycheck to paycheck, meaning spending all the money you earn before the next payday with no savings. I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I need to start a budget.
3. Liquid money, or liquid deposit, meaning cash that is easily accessible and can be used immediately. Example, I keep some liquid money in my drawer just in case of an emergency.
Asset versus liability, meaning an asset earns you money, a liability costs you money. Example, a rental property is an asset, but a high-interest credit card is a liability.
5. passive income, meaning money earned with little to no daily effort, like dividends or rent. Example, passive income is the key to retiring early.
6. Safety net/emergency fund, meaning money saved specifically for unexpected expenses. Example, having a 6-month safety net helps me sleep better at night.
7. Walking on thin ice, meaning to be in a risky or dangerous situation where things could go wrong at any moment. Example, without an emergency fund, you are walking on thin ice. One car repair could put you in debt.
8. Hit the nail on the head, meaning to say something that is exactly right, or to identify a problem perfectly. Example, Maya hit the nail on the head when she said that schools should focus more on financial education.
9. To give every dollar a job, meaning a budgeting strategy where you assign every cent of your income to a specific category, rent, food, savings, before you spend it. Example, I feel much more in control of my life since I started giving every dollar a job the moment I get paid.
We really hope today's discussion was helpful. Money can be a scary topic, but talking about it in English makes it an adventure. These words will definitely level up your fluency and your life.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining our family for episode 11. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, hit the like button, and share it.
Question of the day. What is one want you are willing to cut back on to start your savings? Let us know in the comments.
Stay brave, stay consistent. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Maya. This is American Chapter Podcast. See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.